how do we overcome depression or that feeling of, I'm just so low? So I get it if you are feeling that, or if you've ever felt that. If you haven't felt it, great. But it's good to watch this anyway, see what the signs are. Now, there's people out there say depression isn't real, or it's a clinical thing. I kind of get where you're coming from. However, it is quite real. But I'm going to give some tips that will resonate, I hope, then with how we can overcome it and prevent it. So this video is important for all those reasons. So just for clarity, so probably, I think it was about 10, maybe 11 years ago, possibly a bit longer actually, that I first kind of really started to feel, I suppose, levels of anxiety. I think things weren't just quite working out in quite a few areas of life. And that anxiety built. I didn't really talk about it too much, just cracked on, and didn't understand it in the way that I understand things now. And I was taking preventative action, but I just didn't realize it at the same time. And I think I just kind of switched some of those preventative actions off as well. Definitely my martial arts really did help me a lot. But I was at a point where really, some days I'd wake up and I just would feel like I just want to hide away. Sometimes I had to get up and just go out and do something, but I had that opportunity to sleep because I was exhausted, I was burnt out, I was a lot of stress. So that's where I was at. In fact, I was still going through that quite heavily when I bought Chandler Martial Arts. Well, I bought the business. I was, as the head coach here. I was running things. Well, not running things. I was under someone else's guidance. But then, obviously, I took that on. And as any of you know, that take on a business, start a business where you're buying it, taking it on. It doesn't matter where it's at. If it's at the beginning, then 50% of businesses are gonna crash within that first year, and then 75% within the second, really. So, if you're still going after that, then there's a bit of hope. So, but what I've really learned that, and again, I think just from my coaching, martial arts, and the fitness kickboxing, my mindset coaching, all these things, they've been paramount in keeping me on top. And when challenges come my way, and sometimes they come in like big waves, and then you think that's done, and there's another one. And it does feel like the whole world is on top of you, especially when you're running a business as well. If you are, or if you're self-employed, you're doing things for yourself, or you're in a company where it can be, maybe it's struggling, or you're just not happy, or there's stuff going on in your relationships, and all these things can really come at one go, and you're trying to spin so many plates. This is where I was at. So when I got into a situation that potentially could have really pushed me over the edge of that again, I was able to cope with it and real fend off that feeling of real just low self-worth, or and how am I going to cope and get through this. So my biggest tip is movement. Is just don't over busy yourself to the extent that now you just burn out even more. But I find, for me, if I can, I make sure I got movement in my day, you're releasing endorphins. And actually, let's say through the martial arts training, for example, I could go and have a blast out, and it's not going to change things that there. If there's stuff that needs sorted out, but sometimes some things can wait as well. So you're training, whether it be you're at a gym, or you're going for a run, you're going for a walk, you're playing tennis, you're doing martial arts, whatever it is, keep that in your schedule. That's so important. If you've got the energy to do a little bit more, I would highly recommend that. That's just me, my personal feelings on it, because that motion leads to emotion. And what I would find is I could come and train, blast out. And even before I was doing this as a career, I didn't enjoy the career I was in prior to this. It just, it really wasn't for me. And that made things worse. So I just got to turn up to training tonight. I'm not going to think about it. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I've had enough. Someone's been very nice, whatever. So I would just go in and train, just turn up. And that's all you got to do. It's like, just turn up, train, and get moving. And if there's anything that's kind of weighing you down, it gives you an opportunity to not so much think about it. Now, don't get me wrong, it's gonna still be there, but you've got a bit of headspace now. And what I found, and when I speak to people that take my advice, they find the same, is that have a bit of a training session. It clears their head up a little bit, and actually you're able to look at things a little bit differently. It's not so much of this stress and this rubbish in our heads. A good friend of mine over in the States, Ninja, and he would say, you got to empty the trash in your head. And it's true. It gives you a chance to just empty some of the rubbish, and you can think a bit clearer, and then eat a lot of challenges. You can think, right, actually, I can focus on that one thing now. I can do something about that. Other thing, okay, well, that I can't do anything about that one. Or something else is that can wait a little bit longer, because especially as people involved, you can't please everybody anyway. So kind of going off on different things, but keep yourself moving. Schedule into your time to do stuff. If you're not seeing family, well, then you're not seeing family. Schedule that in, and all these things will help. But we can also, I know the excuses that happen, because I've been there, and I used to say to myself, I was, I better not do this because I'll infect this person with how I'm feeling. Let them be the judge of that. I don't think that's the case, but get yourself moving. It will make a big difference. And I think we're in a world now there's a lot of different groups that you can get joined up at, going to get that movement happening, finding that supportive network that understand, and they're going to lift you up rather than keep holding you down, okay? But when that's happening, that's your choice, if we allow it to happen, if we allow ourselves to be held down. So the gurus out there say depression isn't real. It is out there. It's there. It's a thing. But we can do something about it. Absolutely. It doesn't always have to turn to medication. I tried that. It wasn't great for me, to be honest, and that was, I don't know what I was thinking, basically. And when I came off those things, much better for me, okay? I'm just saying for me, before the trolls jump in. So get yourself moving. Get yourself moving, and get yourself, talk to people if you've got to talk to people, for sure, right? But that movement will make a difference. And trust me, I've been at rock bottom. And I felt like there's no way out of things. What am I going to do? The last few years have been incredibly stressful, trying to spin a lot of plates. I think since coming out of COVID, finding out who my true friends were, who my true supporters were. I soon found out people that were drilling holes in the boat, whilst we should have been rowing, and that's okay. That's no worries. You guys crack on. Good luck. Send you lots of love, but goodbye. And that can add to everything that's going on in your head when you're already dealing with so much. But keep moving and look on, have a vision of something you want to work towards, and slowly things start to get better. Am I out of stuff at the moment? Hey, I visualize, and then I make that vision happen. And I keep working towards it, and it's as simple as that for me. I have to keep things simple, because if I overthink every single little problem, then I'm going to be focused on that. I'm going to be focused on then, oh wow, I don't feel great. I'm going to be focused on feeling depressed, I suppose, or feeling stressed, or feeling this, or feeling that. Whereas I want to focus, if I've only got one thing, if today was all I had was to wake up, see my son, smile, I've got something now. There's more, of course, right? So, focus on what is working for you, and, start to notice it. Get a gratitude journal. Write down, what are you grateful for? I think I said that in the last video, right? Things that you're grateful for. Look at the people that are there who are come out the woodwork to help you. Because you can have 100 people supporting you, but sometimes we focus on one person that for some reason isn't, or has said something, and half the time when those things happen, they've created some story up in their head, or you have. It's not always, I think the world's communication has gone a bit to pot, to be honest with you. And I think media that we, things in media doesn't, my opinion, doesn't help that. Like jumping on stuff, a bit too quickly without seeking to find out a bit more. I went off on one, but that's just normal for me, as you know. So keep your movement going. It's really important. Get someone that can help guide you. Get yourself a mentor, for crying out loud. Get a mentor of some kind and listen to what they're saying. You've got to be coachable for things like that. I really, truly hope this has helped. And wherever you're at on this, maybe, hopefully you've never ever been through that. And I wouldn't wish that upon absolutely anyone, but there's a lot of stresses in the world at the moment with, apparently we're coming out of recession. So it's money and all this stuff, and everyone, I feel most people are genuinely good people that were just all trying so hard, but that then can create a lot of tensions and it affects other stuff, and before we know it, we can be feeling just what do I do? How do I move forward from this? So just have kindness and care in your heart and care about you to, like I said, go out and get moving, and just that little thing, and then allow things to allow good things to come into your life. And if it's depression where something's not quite worked out for you, or I think if you've been for a relationship change or something like that, then things do get better. They do get better, but allow things to drop away and just allow those things. And what I found is when things didn't work out, something better always come along. I mean, generally, something better always come along. Or that was just like a small little transition period. It got me through something. No worries. Something better is on its way. And just believe and trust in that. Peace, love. I'll see you and speak to you next time. Bye-bye.